Some mistakes in life can be corrected. Others stay with us forever. And then there are mistakes that leave no one behind to remember them. The Russian Kamchatka Peninsula, one of the most dangerous places on Earth. A land where towering forests, frozen rivers, and unpredictable weather hide dangers at every turn. But the greatest danger is not the cold. It is what lurks in the shadows. On March 9th, 2025, a team of 6 elite researchers ventured into this wilderness. Their mission was simple: track, observe, and study one of the world's largest predators, the Kamchatka brown bear. They were experienced. They had the best equipment, but none of it mattered, because in just 2 minutes, they were gone. What happened that day changed the way wildlife research was conducted forever. The Kamchatka brown bear is one of the most feared animals in the wild, massive, territorial, and unpredictable. These bears can stand over 10 feet tall and weigh more than 1,500 pounds. They move with unbelievable speed and attack without warning. The expedition team was not afraid. They had spent years studying bears. Leading them was Dr. Sergei Volkov, a 42-year-old bear behavior expert with decades of experience. With him were Anya Petrov, a zoologist skilled in tracking and behavior studies; Mikhail Antonov, the team's medic, trained for extreme survival situations; Yuri Belov, a skilled tracker, an expert in reading animal movements; Dmitry Sokolov, a former military survival specialist; Pavel Kuznetsov, a wildlife photographer, documenting their findings. They knew bears, they knew survival, and they believed they were prepared for whatever came their way. But belief does not change reality. On the morning of March 9th, the team set up camp deep in the wilderness. They had been tracking a specific bear, a large male that had been seen dangerously close to human settlements. The locals had told them, "This bear is not normal. It doesn't run. It doesn't hide. It just watches." They should have listened. By midday, they found fresh tracks, massive footprints in the snow, pressed deep into the frozen ground. The bear was close, too close. Yuri, the tracker, stopped walking, his face tensed. "These tracks, they're fresh, maybe minutes old." Sergei nodded. "Stay alert. Move carefully." They proceeded slowly, rifles ready, tranquilizer guns loaded. The forest was silent. Not a single bird, not a single movement. Something was wrong. Then a branch snapped. It was a simple mistake. Pavel, the photographer, was adjusting his camera strap. His boot landed on a dry branch. The crack of the wood breaking echoed through the trees. To them, it meant nothing. To a bear, it meant danger. The growl came before they even saw it. Deep, heavy, the sound of something huge, waking up. And then, from the trees, it appeared. Not in front of them, behind them. It had been watching them the entire time. Now, it was done watching. It was ready to kill. The moment the team turned to face it, the bear charged. No warning, no hesitation. It covered the distance in seconds. "Run!" Sergei's voice broke through the frozen air. But Yuri? He didn't even have time to turn. The bear swiped its massive paw across his back. A sickening crack echoed through the forest. Yuri collapsed forward into the snow, motionless, dead before he could scream. Mikhail, the medic, raised his rifle. His hands were shaking. He fired. The gunshot shattered the silence. The bullet hit the bear's shoulder, but it didn't stop. It only made the bear angrier. Before Mikhail could reload, the bear was already on him. Its jaws clamped down on his shoulder. A brutal shake. Mikhail's screams were short-lived. Then, silence. In just 10 seconds, 2 of them were gone. The others? They were next. Anya, Sergei, Dmitry, Pavel. They stood frozen in shock. The bear turned toward them. It was watching, thinking. It knew they were trapped. Sergei made a decision. We moved together, slowly, no sudden moves. But Pavel was panicking. His breath was too fast. His hands were shaking. And then he ran, straight toward the vehicles. Big mistake. The bear reacted instantly. It charged. Pavel reached the truck door, fumbling for the handle. But before he could open it, the bear slammed into him. His body hit the metal frame so hard, the entire truck shook. His screams lasted only a moment. One bite, one shake. Pavel was gone. Sergei, Anya, Dmitri, the only ones left. The bear turned back toward them. It was not tired. It was not leaving. It was still hunting. Sergei looked at Anya. "We need to move, now!" They turned and ran for their lives. The snow was deep. Their boots sank with every step. The bear? It was faster. In seconds, it was closing the gap. Anya was falling behind. She knew what was coming. She turned, face to face, with the bear. It lunged. Sergei turned back, just in time to hear her scream. And then, silence. Now it was just him and Dmitri, the last two. And the bear. It was still coming. The snow was stained red. The wind howled through the trees. Moments ago, 6 people stood together in the Russian wilderness. Now, only 2 remained. Sergei Volkov, the expedition leader, Dmitry Sokolov, the survival expert. They had spent years in the wild, studying its dangers, preparing for every possible scenario. But no amount of training could prepare them for this. A 1,500-pound bear, 4 dead teammates, and a fight they could not win. Because in this frozen land, nature does not forgive, and it never gives second chances. Sergei and Dmitri kept running. Their boots sank into the thick snow, each step feeling slower than the last. Behind them, the bear followed, not running at full speed, but stalking. It knew they had nowhere to go. Dmitri, still gripping his hunting knife, turned to Sergei. "We have to fight it." Sergei's breath was ragged. He knew the truth. A knife? Against that? Dmitri didn't answer. He already knew the answer, but there was no choice. Ahead of them, a frozen river stretched between the trees. The ice looked thick but unstable. Dmitri pointed. "We cross, now!" Sergei hesitated for half a second. Then, a deep growl behind them. No more time. They ran onto the ice. Each step sent small cracks through the frozen surface, but the bear followed. It stepped onto the ice without fear. It was bigger, heavier. The ice creaked. And then, it happened. A sharp crack split the air. The ice beneath Dmitri's feet gave way. In an instant, he was gone. A splash, a struggle, a gasp for breath. Sergei turned back, but the freezing water had already pulled Dmitri under. The bear. It didn't stop. It simply walked around the broken ice, eyes locked onto Sergei. And then, Sergei fell. His foot hit a hidden dip in the ice, and he slammed into the snow. Pain shot through his leg, his ribs, his lungs. He tried to stand. Too slow. The bear was on him. A shadow loomed over his body. He looked up. Its claws hung inches from his face. This was it, the end. And then, a noise. Distant, faint. A sound that did not belong in the wilderness. A helicopter. The bear paused. It turned its massive head, ears twitching. For the first time in the attack, it hesitated. And then, it left. Just like that. It walked back into the trees, disappearing into the same shadows it had come from. Sergei didn't remember much after that. The next thing he knew, hands were pulling him up, voices shouting his name. It was the rescue team. They had arrived too late, but they still found him alive. The rescue team searched for hours. They found 5 bodies. Mikhail, the medic, Yuri, the tracker, Pavel, the photographer, Anya, the zoologist, Dmitri, under the ice, but the bear, gone, vanished. Sergei was airlifted to safety, but he never spoke about the final moments of the attack. Why did the bear leave? Why did it stop killing? Some say it was the helicopter. Others say the bear had no reason to kill anymore. But the truth, no one knows. Because in the Russian wilderness, some creatures don't just kill. They remember, and they wait.